You're a wholesaler with deals and you need a software to help you move them to a cash buyer fast. You've probably heard of Investorlift. And then there's this new software on the block called Investorbase. And now you're wondering, what is the best Dispo software for me? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna give you a full walkthrough of the Investorlift software, as well as Investorbase. And we're gonna compare all of their features. So at the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one you should buy. But why am I listening to this weirdo in a pirate hat? For those of you that don't know me and you are brand new to my channel, welcome and arg. Okay, that was so stupid. My name is Maximilian Deer. I am a 7-figure wholesaler and I am known as the Dispo Pirate because I have sold hundreds of deals all around the US. I have sold so many deals with Investorlift. The software has made me a small fortune. Now I want to see if Investorbase can do the same thing at a cheaper cost. All right, review time. Let's start with a quick story. If you don't know what Investorlift is, it's like Zillow, but for investors. It was started by this really dope dude named Robert, who was one of the most successful wholesalers in the US. And him and his friends had the most insane buyers list, so they wanted to create a software to give that buyers list to you. One of the original features of Investorlift was God mode. Just plug in an address, set your filters, and it will data mine the tax records to show you the transaction history of all of the investors in the area. So there was 19 investors in a 1-mile radius who bought a similar property, and here are their names and here are their phone numbers. But all of the features really, really cool. And I literally just sold a house by using God mode. It took me 2 calls and I made $12,600. And now I'm best friends with a whale buyer. Anyways, Investorlift grew more than just a reverse tax records software. They became a full marketplace. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of deals posted on Investorlift. Right now, I have 9 wholesale deals posted on Investorlift. And you can just go in, create a listing, and buyers can find your deal just like they're finding deals on Zillow. But Max, there can't be that many buyers on Investorlift, right? Wrong. There's almost 6 million. So that is Investorlift. And if you want in on it, it doesn't come cheap. You're going to be paying around $2,000 to $10,000 a quarter, or $6,000 to $36,000 a year. So a group of young dudes highly inspired by Investorlift came together and was like, can we build a similar product for cheaper? And that's where Investorbase comes from. And I gotta say, after using Investorbase for the past 7 days, I don't know what to say. It beats Investorlift. Let's compare Investorlift's God mode to Investorbase's. And what you're gonna see is that Investorbase has a much better UI. It's just easier to navigate. It's better to look at. I really love their version of God mode, whatever they call their version of God mode. And also when it comes to creating a listing, I have to say that creating a listing on Investorbase is really, really easy. I like the experience better than creating a listing on Investorlift. That's just the truth. Whoa, Max. Are you saying that Investorbase is cheaper than Investorlift? And it's better. And Max, you're the guy that uses Investorlift every single day, runs his 7-figure Dispo business with Investorlift, and let's be honest, is one of the biggest Investorlift advocates on YouTube. I mean, yeah, I'm really impressed by the few features that Investorbase has. And I mean few, because when you actually compare Investorlift versus Investorbase, Investorlift is expensive for a reason. It has a full marketplace with 6 million buyers. You can text blast and email blast in 1 click. You can also AI blast the best buyers. With Artemis mode, you can see exactly what buyers looked at your property. And they have Investorlift AI, which is honestly the most insane AI I've ever seen in real estate. So let me now walk you through all of the features. Before I give you an entire walkthrough of Investorlift and every single one of their features, let's give Investorbase a closer look. Let's search an address. The red dot is our property, and in blue you have all the fix and flippers, and in green you have all of the landlords. Many of the filters are the same as Investorlift's, but one I really like are the property type filters. So for example, I can look for buyers that are just buying land. That's really cool. Another thing I really like is that you can actually sort all of the buyer contacts, and one of the coolest ones is their new smart match. It's like their AI. So supposedly these are who Investorbase thinks are all of the best buyers. The last thing I thought that was just really cool was that you can actually download all the buyer contacts in a form of a CSV. Now, you're going to see a lot of this soon in this review, but like with Investorbase, you can't just one-click text blast like you can with Investorlift, but you can download the CSV and then you can upload it to, I don't know, your CRM, like Go High Level, and then from there you can call it and then you can text it, which is a nice feature to have. Now, when I click on a property, I will get the owner's phone number. However, I want to be completely transparent in this review. I did not compare Investorbase's and Investorlift's phone numbers. I did not compare their skip tracing. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm happy to do that in another video. This video is supposed to cover all of the features of both softwares, compare the features, and give you a walkthrough of both softwares to see which one is probably the right fit for you. So I don't want to jump to conclusions on Investorbase's phone numbers, but I will say Investorlift's phone numbers are super good because they're actually authenticated. So the numbers are incredibly accurate. I just pick up my cell phone and someone usually answers. I also did not thoroughly test out Investorbase's Smart Match AI, and I want to give that a shot in the future. And last but not least, when it comes to creating listings on Investorbase, although I really like the experience and you can make really nice listings, the listings don't go to a marketplace or whatever. You just get a link and then you can share that link with buyers on, let's say, an email or a text. But it's not like investors can find your deals. It's not like that. And that's really what makes Investorlift different. Investorbase is sort of like cold calling, whereas Investorlift is like running PPC ads and you're getting hot leads coming to you. Not all, but sometimes I just post a deal on Investorlift, like this house in Rockford, and within like 30 minutes, I get a full price offer and my deal is sold. I didn't even lift a finger. It's pretty nice, but that's not always the case. So this is where Investorlift is different than Investorbase. And the reason why it is so much more money and still my software of choice for me and my business, although that may not be the same case for you, depending on where you are in your wholesaling journey. With Investorlift, I just create a property listing as we've already discussed. But then what's different is that Investorlift does the marketing campaigns for me. Take this house in Texas City that we're selling for $79,000. It was brought to me by a wholesaler named Hansela, who's in my wholesaling academy. It's only $20 a month and I'll help you scale your wholesaling business to 6 or 7 figures. Anyways, Hansela brought the deal to maxdispo.com, which is my nationwide JV company. He got the contract signed for $65,000 and I put on Investorlift for $79,000. And then in one click, you can send an SMS blast or an MMS blast, which includes pictures, or you can just send an email blast. Now you select the type of buyers that you want this deal to go out to. This property is a good fix and flip or even a rental. It's actually a good Section 8 deal. We should include the Section 8 tag in the software. And then all I have to do is click continue and my deal is going to be sent to 308 active buyers who are looking for this type of property. They're going to get a text that says new hot deal. That's crazy. Now the text messages do cost credits, and depending on your plan, it gets a little bit confusing how much credits you need. I can talk about that at the end. But in this case, it's going to cost me $6 to blast 300 buyers. Honestly, worth it because we just assigned this contract for $77,500. Shout out Investorlift.
Hello?
Yo, Hansela, it's Max.
Hey, what's up, Max?
Hey, man, I'm working on getting your deal assigned.
Oh, that's great. You found someone?
Yep, found someone. We are still working on the assignment, so knock on wood, but he came in at $77,500.
Okay, that's great.
Awesome. Just wanted to give you the good word. I'll give you full confirmation once it is officially signed and the earnest money is in, but it's the weekend, so we're going to have to wait until Monday.
I really appreciate that, man. I was really looking out for it. I was hoping to hear something about it, but that's great. It's going to be my first deal, too.
Your first deal. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm really happy.
Yo, Investorlift just helped Hansela get his first deal. And Wholesalers Academy. So if you're not in here, you should join. Anyways. The buyer on this deal did not come from God Mode, or Investorbase's version of God Mode. The buyer was one of the 6 million buyers that uses Investorlift, and he got a hot text message saying there's a good deal, and he called me. It was inbound. I was literally out walking my dog, and this dude calls me and says, yo, I want the house. But the truth is that it wasn't a typical SMS blast. It wasn't a typical text blast. It was actually an AI blast. Here you can see that I AI blasted 202 buyers. And it had a 70% click-through rate, which is crazy. Investorlift doesn't just have email and text blast. They have this new thing called AI Blast, which puts your deal in front of the perfect buyer. It's so cool. I love it. I use it all of the time. But Max, what if I blast my deals to all these buyers and I don't know. It just doesn't sell. Well, that happens. It happens a lot. But that's where Artemis mode comes in. Click back to the deal. Guys, with Artemis mode, I can see every single person that looked at my deal. Because it's a marketplace, I can see everyone that looked at my deal. Eva looked at my deal. She looked at 38 pictures. She spent 6 minutes looking at my deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Eva. She's obviously interested in my deal, right? She may not have called me, but she looked at my deal. I blasted it to her. She looked at it. She's probably interested. She spent 6 minutes looking at it. Also, Jose, Moon Kim, Donald, Adrian. And what's really cool is they give you a tag. So I know that Moon Kim, guys, is a flipper landlord realtor, and he may be a wholesaler. So Max, are there wholesalers on this platform? So that's something that's actually great about Investorlift was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it was actually really difficult to use Investorlift because there was so many wholesalers acting as buyers. But with their new Sentry mode update, they've eliminated like 99.9% of the wholesalers. I have not been getting daisy chained. So Investorlift, they solved that problem. But back to Artemis mode, would you be surprised that Eva and her partner were the ones that actually are buying this house? What a shocker. And what's really cool is that if you scroll up and go to deals nearby, you can look at similar properties that were sold on Investorlift because so many properties are sold on Investorlift, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands every single year. You can look at the buyers who are also interested in that deal. And guys, this is what separates Investorlift from Investorbase. Here is my honest opinion. This is my opinion, okay? I could be wrong, but this is my opinion. If you're a newer wholesaler, you don't have thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to spend on Dispo, but you want to start to build your buyer's list, then Investorbase is a wonderful choice. They have a 100% free trial. I urge you to go try it and see if you like the God mode-esque experience. Investorbase is a great tool to help you build your buyer's list on a budget, but it doesn't, give you the buyers for you, and it doesn't sell your deals for you. If you want to build your buyer's list for cheap, and yes, it can help you find the right buyer for your deal. It works for a lot of wholesalers. Then you should try their 7-day free trial. But Investorlift, oh my God, I forgot to mention something. Guys, this is the new version of Investorlift that's coming out soon. So not only is Investorlift getting an entire facelift, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. They're also coming out with God Mode 2.0. And I haven't seen it yet, but from what the team has told me, it is the craziest version of God Mode. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. So my 2 complaints about Investorlift in the beginning of the video was, hey, maybe God Mode needs an update and the software needs a bit of a facelift. They're addressing it. It's coming out very, very soon. But in my opinion, as of now, we'll see. Maybe Investorbase makes updates. I genuinely try to stay as neutral as possible. But if you're a serious wholesaler and you have a higher budget, I think Investorlift is the right product for you. It is inbound Dispo, but there are a few things, there are a few catches, okay? There are a few catches. Can't be too good to be true. Or can it? Maybe it can. The pro version of Investorlift is about 3 times the cost of Investorbase. It's not that much more, but the pro version only really works if you're in one small area, if you're only wholesaling in one small area. If you're wholesaling in multiple markets, you actually have to step up to Falcon mode, and Falcon mode is what gives you Artemis mode. So without Falcon mode, you don't even get Artemis mode. So to be completely honest, I really recommend Falcon mode to most wholesalers. I personally would skip Pro mode. And also, Falcon mode comes with Investorlift AI. And I will talk about that here in a second. Personally speaking, on my side, I actually have a version of Investorlift called Cartel Mode that is not released to the public. But more or less, because I'm doing nationwide wholesaling, I need access to a lot of buyers. And that's where something like Lieutenant comes in. If you're wholesaling in many, many markets, you're doing nationwide wholesaling, you need Lieutenant Mode. So if you're wholesaling nationwide and you don't have a huge budget, then yeah, you may just have to stick with Investorbase. Or there is one solution. You can just send me your deals to maxdispo.com and I will sell them nationwide. I wholesale in all 50 states. That's what Hanzala just did. I just sold his wholesale deal. We JV'd, we split the profit. So if you have a deal and you need help selling it, send it to maxdispo.com. The last thing I haven't mentioned is that Investorlift is going full AI. This is what Investorlift will be like in the future. Here's a property that I sold on Investorlift, and here you get inbound leads. And after you call one of your inbound leads, you can move them over to attempted to contact, or maybe you'll move them over to not interested. This is a wonderful way to stay up to date with your buyers. Because one thing I have to give Investorbase credit for is they have a nice backend that allows you to stay organized on your buyers. And Investorlift is also adding the same thing while combining AI. So there you have it, everyone. This was my full comparison of Investorlift versus Investorbase. I'm going to put a link to both softwares down below. If you still haven't made up your mind yet, here's what I recommend you do. Investorbase has a free trial, and Investorlift, you can schedule a call with the team and they will actually tell you whether or not the software is a good fit for you. They won't bullshit you. I recommend you guys do both of those things. But if you're a serious wholesaler, you really want to just nail your Dispo, I would go right now buy Falcon or Lieutenant mode for Investorlift. Link down below. Tell the team I sent you. They'll treat you really well. Or if you just want a cheat code and you want to send me your deals, I'll sell them too. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I spent a lot of time on this. And if you appreciate it, please make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Bye.